Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'll be speaking on how you can learn to enjoy the journey. See, humans often, we have goals, yeah, and then we accomplish a goal, and then immediately we feel good. We get a dopamine rush, and then uh, on to the next goal, instant desire, immediately. That's not healthy. So one important way to sum up the theme of this episode is one of the main crossroads that we go through is deciding which hard we choose. Both routes are hard, but one route is a bit better than the other. Something we all need to get straight is our values and our expectations. And something that's priceless is to understand the balance between financial freedom and freedom from your own ego, your mind. And where that starts is through changing the core pillars of your life. See, your expectations for what reality is, they affect how you think and how you feel on a daily basis. See, your thoughts turn into actions, actions turn into feelings, and feelings create the new feedback loop of thoughts. So that's all connected. And if you change the way that you think, the things that you do are likely to change. For example, you view yourself as average and not capable of becoming financially free. Well, then you're going to take actions that align with those beliefs, and then your life is created in that style. So it does begin with the mind. And expectations in general are important to understand the psychology behind what they do to you. For example, you and your friend, you're gonna go to a restaurant, and you guys, you've been told that this is the best restaurant ever. So with that expectation set, this restaurant could perform amazing. It could be 5-star quality. And you would still be disappointed because you have set the bar so high with that phrase, this is going to be the best restaurant ever. So a little trick that I like, that I did as a kid without even realizing what I was doing, is setting low expectations for others and high expectations for yourself. So the theme is that which you can control, your own actions. You want to set high expectations for yourself because you control. But the things that you don't control, oh boy, this is where we create our own suffering. When we place expectations, we try to control that which we don't control. It leads you down just a very annoying route. And it takes a bit. See, some of my tough lessons that I'm grateful I had to learn, I was way overly controlling when I was a teenager, specifically with girlfriend. And hey, you learn lessons. See, failure, mistakes, they are only labeled that when you do not grasp the lesson. But if you're intelligent enough to realize, wait, I learn more from my losses and mistakes than from my big wins, then you're going in the right direction. One expectation that I had that brought me a lot of pain was expecting to get rich quick. And my avenue vehicle for this was the stock market. Long story short, I've learned so much about myself, about life from the stock market. But in the beginning, I made it much harder than it had to be. And this was due to my expectation to get rich quick. Essentially, I fell into the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is thinking that you know more than you know about a certain topic. Don't get me started. I think that is a huge virus running through today's culture is people are not educated on psychology. Some are. But for the most part, the mainstream school curriculum teaches you X plus Y, which you never use in your life. Meanwhile, they neglect financial literacy and human psychology, which truly are two of the biggest keys to life. I wonder why they don't touch on those topics in high school. I'll leave that up to you. Maybe, just maybe, the people who create the curriculums are not a fan of wise beings, because wise beings are not easily manipulated. And Big Pharma, it's a sick care system, not a preventative health care system. And if Big Pharma cared about your health and not their pockets, cared about your health and not their pockets, then maybe they would prefer wise human beings. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. Hey, I might be wrong. Come to your own conclusion. Never, just don't believe what I say. I'm out here just, who knows? I could be talking out of my ass. So think about what I say, chew on it, but don't just believe me. Don't believe me. Do your critical thinking, question what I say. Does it align with you? If it aligns with you, then maybe you can take it and test it. But this is what I want to teach, is critical thinking and healthy skepticism. See, you don't have to be a far out, like, believe in aliens, flat earth, just super duper conspiracy guy. But you also are a fool if you believe everything you're told. So, it's a game, and we have to be wise in this game. Learning to enjoy your journey is built upon you doing your absolute best to lead by example. See, we touched on you don't force people to change. You do not control other people. What you do control is what you do. And the best and only way to inspire change is to show others how you've changed and how clearly your life has improved. See, if you tell a human what to do, they will probably dislike you. Humans don't want to be told what to do. So the only option you have, if you would like to inspire and influence others in a positive way, ideally, is to be that change, to completely embody your philosophy. So it's a tough one, because that forces total accountability. You cannot be slipping up. And this is one of the reasons why I enjoy, like, being someone who speaks about what I speak about, because I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. But when I'm constantly putting out this message, oh, I am forced to be accountable. I am forced to hold myself to the highest standard. And that's, hey, it works. Like, I just have no interest in sabotaging myself for many reasons, many reasons. See, here's a theme, that as you improve your life, you'll begin to see more and more. You fill your days with good, healthy things. Eventually, you just do not have time or interest in the petty negative things. I used to argue, used to get caught up in unhealthy actions, but now I've created such a purpose, so many habits and moving pieces that surround my purpose. I have no time to mess up. Like, this is not in me. And when I say that, don't let me trick you into thinking that I didn't mess up many, many times during this journey. And don't let me fool you into thinking that I won't mess up down the road. What I'm expressing here is that I mess up way less than I used to, due to having a deep, strong reason to be the change, to hold myself to the highest standard. So I try to be clear in that expression that no one's perfect compared to yesterday's you, because there are some avenues that will consistently lead you to feel horrible no matter how good you're doing. And for example, I'm in a great place mentally, But if I go compare myself to someone ahead of me who's older, more experienced, been doing more focused work over a longer period of time, easily I can go into ego mode, negative frequency, negative thought cycles, getting down on myself, self-doubt, etc. Not a good place to be. So comparison is the thief of joy, cliche. These things, they run true. See, everything I say to you, you already know it. You already know everything that I'm telling you. But the thing is, we need to be reminded more often than taught. So it's not like I'm bringing you new information. This deep within, you already know this. You're wise, but sometimes we have to get rid of the fool within us before the wisdom comes out. See, it's there deep down, but we also have that foolish part of ourselves, and everything's okay. You're at the right place at the right time. And it's important that we get really clear on what we don't want and who we do not want to become. Pick yourself an anti-role model. Unfortunately, the truth is there are probably more anti-role models in your physical reality than role models. And if you do not, for me, I needed a father figure. And Jordan Peterson really saved me in that area. He helped me clean my life up and grow up. Like I was already heading in a healthy direction to even find him. But, if you need a father figure, consider checking out Jordan Peterson. He's so powerful. In life, hardship is inevitable. We will be in pain. We will be attached to things. Those things will disappear, be taken from us, leave us. And then we have a choice. See, hardship you can either view as a lesson and seek the intellectual takeaways that were meant to be grasped, or you go down the dark road of blaming, criticizing, judging. My life is so hard. So there are stages, and we go from initially being a victim, complaining, etc. Next, we go into survival. I'm grinding, I'm hustling. That's still not a good place to be. Lastly, you transition into thriving, where you learn how to enjoy the journey. You realize that the work can turn into play. You start learning how to truly enjoy your moments. This is when life actually gets good. And the key, a basic key to this is the combination of faith in the bigger picture, action on a daily basis, consistency over an extended period of time, and consistent daily reflection, paying attention to what you're doing, how what you're doing is making you feel, and if you would like to continue to feel that way. So you choose wisely. See, hardship can be the greatest teacher, or it can be exactly what turns you into a soft, weak human, a human doing. See, we're human beings, but so many of us, they are stuck on a lower frequency, which, everything's right at the right place, right time. I'm not judging them. I'm not saying that they're wrong, that they're bad, but they've gotten caught in a low frequency, and they define themselves by what they have physically, materialist, or what they do. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, take me seriously, I'm a businessman. These people, they're unbalanced, they're disconnected. See, you need to survive, you need money. To be a businessman is wonderful, but to be only a businessman is your issue. To be a well-rounded businessman who takes care of himself, who understands his emotions, who is compassionate, who does the internal work, who has financial literacy, who delays gratification, etc. That's a businessman that you want to be. But to be a fool, a businessman who lives from the ego, a businessman who has money and who is not truly wealthy. See, notice my words. Notice the differentiations I'm making with language, because these are where the magic appears in the details. We benefit so much from understanding the common pitfalls and traps. For the mind, it's pretty much the victim mentality, the judging, blaming, etc. Because then you take away your own power when you do that. And physically, it comes down to your habits. And of course, we can have habits within the mind, within patterns and cycles of thought. So habits in general are one of the most important cornerstones for us to figure out, for us to get straightened. We need to clean up and grow up before we wake up. And by getting your habits straight, this is how you clean and grow up. For example, your sleep patterns, going to bed same time, waking up same time. It's simple, but it's deep as well, because understand the 3-2-1 rule. No food 3 hours before bed, no food, no water, or no liquids 2 hours before bed, and then no screens 1 hour before bed. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but just if you can take a chance and do this for one night, I promise you, you will understand the difference. If you do the 3-2-1 rule for one night, just try it. Just try it. And then, I don't know, maybe you feel something. Just give it a chance, that's all. Closed-mindedness is one of the biggest pitfalls. If you put up your cognitive wall and you never consider new ideas, you don't question your own beliefs. See, I know this can be hard when I throw new ideas at you, because I was there once where I had way more unhealthy habits, and making change is uncomfortable. And then getting uncomfortable, it's not the easiest thing to do. But here's a quote to sum up my thesis. Sometimes your life has to get worse before it improves. Therefore, you might have to break down some of your comfort zones, which feels as if your life is getting worse. But if you zoom out a bit, if you understand why you're breaking down your comfort zone, why you're changing your habits, then you actually are getting somewhere, because you've zoomed out. And then when you have your ego's elastic band sort of snap back, you pull the elastic band and then it snaps back. That's what your ego wants to do when you're breaking down your habits, when you're changing your beliefs. Your ego wants to protect you. It doesn't want you to thrive. And that's the interesting part. So here, let me define ego in case you're unfamiliar, because I know this word, for me, it took a bit to actually understand. So what the ego is when you say, I'm this, I'm that, that is your sense of self, which is also called the ego. And there's another part of you. And this is an interesting differentiation. So the ego is the part of you that has many emotions. Your ego is pretty much, if I can make a very, very simple difference, the ego is super emotional. And then your other part, what I would label your higher self, is more of a balanced being, which is not too attached to emotions. Anger, fear, lust, greed, those are qualities of the ego. The qualities of the higher self are more like openness, understanding, the ability to put on someone else's shoes and view from their lens. The higher self is more of a bigger picture view, who understands, okay, maybe your appearance is different from mine, but guess what? When you look at our eyes, there's something in our eyes. What is that? What is the thing that you look into when you stare into another being's eyes? That's the higher self. The eyes are the window to the soul. And see, we're very materialistic. We are caught in our culture right now because mainstream preaches fear, lust, anger, greed, those lower frequency emotions. But what we really are at our deepest core, we're beings. See, we're not human doings, are we? No, we're not. We're human beings. So what does it mean to be? What it means to be is to be focusing your attention on the current moment. I'm not sure about your childhood, but for me, I didn't think nearly as much as I did as a teenager. And now I'm getting back to thinking less. But holy, as a teenager, all I did was think. And it was because I was trapped in my ego. I got so disconnected from my higher self. And this is where most people are operating at from a daily basis. They are not being, they're thinking. So there's a difference. When you're being, you are immersed. When you're painting and you lose track of time. When you're driving, you're speeding, having fun. Nothing but that moment. When you're playing football, you're just in it. You're not doing anything. You're not even thinking. Everything is just natural. You're flowing. That's the word. So there's a huge difference between your ego and your higher self. And if you can notice, if you can begin to recognize this difference, promise you your whole life changes. I guarantee it. Here's a few powerful questions that if you answer sincerely and you deeply aim to get some honest takeaways. See, don't be very serious in your writing. Just say, okay, I'm going to sit down, pen, paper. I'm just going to let it out. I'm just going to brain dump, get it on the paper. So what are my bad habits of instant gratification? For example, alcohol, porn, junk food, etc. What are my common urges and triggers for each habit? Identifying these urges and triggers and tendencies will raise your awareness so that before you indulge in the habit, you actually have a thought and it goes like, wait, I see myself, I feel myself about to make a poor decision. Do I know how I'm going to feel after making that decision? If you can have that thought process prior to indulging, you're leveling up. And what is the most destructive bad habit and how am I going to replace it? See, you need to subtract your bad habits, but you don't just subtract them and then drop them. What you do is you create the space by dropping it, and then you create a new healthy habit to fill that old time. For example, you spend 30 minutes a day binging junk food and however much time spending watching porn, you identify the amount of time, and then maybe you read for 25 minutes, and then you journal for 25 minutes. You need to replace habits. You don't just drop habits. And lastly, I'll have a link in description if you're interested in working with me. We will see if we mesh well before anything else. And you know this, I do these for fun. They have many benefits for you and I. Just help me out. Get the algorithm rolling, share it with a friend, drop a like, reply, let me know what you liked, what's your takeaway, and do you have any future video recommendations or ideas? I will create a video on whatever you want me to, as long as it's, a good topic. But yeah, that's what we got today. I'll be back next week. I hope you have a great day.